From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. Industry Minister Melanie Joly says Canada is fighting the unjustified and unlawful tariffs from the U.S. with retaliatory actions, domestic support packages, and moves to diversify trade. In a social media post on Friday evening, Joly says she's set to formally meet with Canadian steel and aluminum producers in the coming days to advance Canada's plan. This after U.S. President Donald Trump claimed Friday that he'll double the tariffs on steel and aluminum imports as of next Wednesday to 50%. The Liberal government plans to formally introduce legislation next week that would strengthen the country's border. Public Safety Minister Gary Anandasangari is expected to table the bill that would boost security at the border while giving law enforcement and intelligence agencies newer tools to crack down on the flow of fentanyl and other drugs into Canada from the U.S. and abroad. Sikh organizations in Canada are demanding Ottawa break a 5-year tradition by not inviting India's Prime Minister to the G7 summit next month.
The Toronto-based Sikh Federation says it has called on Ottawa to withhold any invitation to India until the nation cooperates with criminal investigations in Canada. The Federation is pointing to Canada's allegation that New Delhi worked to orchestrate the assassination of a prominent Sikh activist near Vancouver in 2023. Global Affairs Canada has not yet released a list of every leader Canada has invited to attend the summit next month in Kananaskis, Alberta, although leaders in Ukraine, Mexico, and Australia say they've been invited. Don Mitchell, the Canadian Press.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth reassured allies in the Indo-Pacific on Saturday that they won't be left alone to face increasing military and economic pressure from China. He told the Shangri-La Dialogue Defense Summit held in Singapore that China's army is rehearsing for the real deal.
In the South China Sea, China harasses its neighbors, many of which are here in the room today. China seeks to intimidate you in your own waters.
Hegseth urged countries in the region to increase defense spending to levels similar to the 5% of gross domestic product that European nations are now pressed to contribute.
First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we talk.
And a docu-series based on Canadian rock group The Tragically Hip picked up 7 wins at the Canadian Screen Awards on Friday. The Tragically Hip No Dress Rehearsal from Amazon Prime Video Canada dominated a Friday night bash in Toronto for documentary, factual, lifestyle, and reality categories. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Athletics 11-7 at Rogers Centre in Major League Baseball action. Blue Jays manager John Schneider says it was a great team effort against Oakland.
Contributions from everyone tonight. It was nice the way we responded, I think, every time they scored. Big hits, and I think we ran the bases really well. Just things that kind of go unnoticed.
Toronto has won 5 straight home games. The London Knights are getting a shot at redemption. Blake Montgomery put away the winner early in the third period to lift the Knights over the Moncton Wildcats 5-2 in the Memorial Cup semifinal. London will take on the Medicine Hat Tigers in Sunday's championship game after the Knights were stunned by the Saginaw Spirit in last year's final. And Canada's Nick Taylor and Ben Griffin are tied atop the leaderboard at the Memorial, a signature event on the PGA Tour. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.